This is good. Hare Krishna. I'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnanajnana Chakshurmilitam Vena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanad Swamiti Namane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashrita Deshtarne Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sadvaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna, welcome to our Gita study session. We completed 5 chapters and we are halfway through the 6th chapter, almost towards the end. Most likely we'll complete the 6th chapter. So I'll give a brief overview of what is in Bhagavad Gita, what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita in another 10 to 15 minutes. So that way, when you keep hearing this, we don't forget the message in Bhagavad Gita or the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So almost every session you'll see this is being repeated, but this is really helpful. It really sticks with us as we hear more. Okay, so in this Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic literatures. There are so many Vedic literatures, Upanishads. Krishna extracted the essence and given to us in the 700 shlokas. Krishna did not go deeper into various subject matters, but all the elaborate details are found in other Vedic scriptures. So in our talk as we go, we'll look at those as well. So in Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 subject matters. Krishna talks about Atma, the soul. We are not this body, we are soul. Okay. And Krishna also talks about Prakriti, this material nature. What is this material nature made of? Why this exists and everything. Okay. From the 7th chapter onwards, we'll go deeper into those subjects. As Krishna talks about the Prakriti in various chapters, we'll go deeper into those and try to understand about the creation and everything. So that is Prakriti. Prakriti is not the nature we see outside. So it's nature, but there is a lot to it about Prakriti. Prakriti has its influence on our consciousness. This Prakriti, which consists of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, that has influence on our consciousness. So we'll go deeper into that when we do that, when we come to this Prakriti section. And Krishna talks about karma. So we, soul, we are in this material world, this earth, or in this universe. It's called material world. Why? Because of karma. Because of karma. So what is karma? Anything we do is a karma. Any action we do is a karma. Either good action, bad action, or any action, we generate new karma. We accumulate new karma. Because of karma, we take birth. So what is the root cause of our existence in this material world? Karma. Because of our own karma, we take birth. And we go into this repeated cycle of birth and death. Birth and death. It continues under the purview of Kala, time, and the Supreme Lord. Karmena Devanitrana. It's under the purview and supervision of the Supreme Lord. we go into the various situations. We are being put into this material world and will go through this repeated cycle of birth and death. That and how a soul comes out of this cycle, how can a soul break the cycle of birth and death, is a subject matter of Bhagavad Gita. That is a very, very important subject matter. That is yoga. If a person does yoga, practices yoga as prescribed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, a soul can can break the cycle of birth and death, can attain the Supreme Lord. If a soul, when attains the Supreme Lord, the soul will not take birth again. Doesn't have to go through this suffering in this material world. We know in this lifetime how much suffering we have been through. Everybody has their own experience. We don't want to go through this again and again in every lifetime. So how to do that? That's what Bhagavad Gita. How can we break the cycle of birth and death? How can we avoid the suffering in this material world? By attaining moksha. How to attain moksha? By studying Bhagavad Gita. Okay. That is practicing yoga. So when I say yoga, it's not the yoga we do in the many places. People teach the various bodily postures. Various bodily postures. That is not yoga. That is yoga asana. That's bodily postures only. Yoga asana. It's not yoga. Yoga means a path, a process to attain the Supreme Lord. It's a connection process, a linking process to attain the Supreme Lord. So to attain the Supreme Lord, Krishna talks about various yogic practices. In the first 6 chapters, Krishna talks about Karma Yoga. In the second half, Krishna talks about Bhakti Yoga. In the last half, Krishna talks about Jnana Yoga. Karma means action. Everybody works in this world. We work to earn money. We work to take care of family members. We work to take care of our own body. Anything we do is an action. No one can avoid action. Everybody does actions. Everybody works. But while working, we develop a disease. We develop a disease that's called eye disease. It's not eye disease, like physical eye. You may say like, okay, I can see this screen, this PPT. You show this every time. I don't have eye disease. But that's not the eye disease Krishna is talking about. It's about the disease called I-ness, ahankara. In Sanskrit, it's called ahankara. Ahankara. So because ahankara is like we think what it is not true, right? We are a atma, we are an atma in this body, but we don't even feel or realize that we are this atma. 100% of the time, most of the time, always, all the time, we feel that we are this body. Why so? It's because of this ahankara element. And because of this ahankara, we try to keep ourselves in center. In all the endeavors, in all our actions we do, dealing with people, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. work, any work we do, we try to be self-centered. And we develop, so because of this eye disease, we develop so many negativity, negative emotions. And we cannot concentrate fully in the work, and our work is not happy. So Krishna teaches this karma yoga, a practice by which one can happily work, joyfully work. Work is not a burden anymore. How is that? By following these 3 principles, just 3 simple principles. We are not used to practice this, but when we bring into our mind When we go into the turbulence of negativity, we can bring these things in our mind. When we bring this principle in our mind, then our negativity will go away. We can happily work. So that is the first one. One has to work as a selfless service to the Lord. As a seva, Bhagavad Seva, selfless service to the Lord. Any action, taking care of my children, I can do as a selfless service to the Lord. Doing a work for money, earning money, I can do as a selfless service to the Lord. If a person does, he can happily work. And we went through this in detail in previous sessions. And without expectation of result. Basically, be work focused, not result focused. I don't take care of my child thinking that my child will take care of me later. No, I just do a selfless service to my child. I don't expect anything in return. Right? So without expectation of a result and without getting attached to the results. Like if I'm being success all the time, I'm the best of so and so. If you are getting attached to the best of so and so, when we go through the negatives or failures, we cannot take it. One has to bring this principle without attachment to result. Consider as a God's mercy. Okay, when we do as a selfless service to the Lord, offering the result to the Lord, success or failure being neutral, considering as a God mercy, as a gift of the Lord, and work, continue doing our work, whatever we do, we can happily work and will come out of this I and my zone, ahankara and mamakara. So that cleanses our negativity, our negative emotions, brings a tranquility in our mind and consciousness. So with that purity in mind, one can focus on bhakti, devotion. So that Krishna covers in the second half of the chapters. Second half of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about bhakti yoga. Bhakti means a devotion, connecting or fixing our mind unto the Supreme Lord through the process of love and devotion. If I need to develop love toward my Supreme Lord, I need to know everything about my Supreme Lord. Who Lord is, how great Lord is. Krishna talks about himself very nicely. Self-glorification. Krishna talks everything about himself, basically this creation and how God is involved in this. Many, many beautiful subject matters we'll see in the Bhakti Yoga. I'm eagerly waiting for that. After that, in the third half of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna goes in detail of the subject matters he spoke before. The soul, Prakriti, what is Prakriti, how the soul is influenced by the so-called Prakriti. So all those things Krishna talks about. And towards the end, Krishna directs Arjuna towards attaining liberation through the process of Bhakti Yoga. Manmana bhava madbhaktyo. By the practice of Bhakti Yoga, you can attain me. You can break the cycle of birth and death. After hearing this, Arjuna says, this is what in Arjuna's mind, that he can practice Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and he's quite worried about his past life sins. And he's also worried about his inability to do bhakti, the process of devotion. Then Krishna says, you surrender unto me. I will remove all your sins. I'll wipe out all your sins. Mokshaishyami masuchaha. I will give you liberation, guaranteed. Guaranteed. You just surrender unto me. So what is that surrender? What is the process? How to do that? That is a big session. That's a course by itself. That we'll go through that when we get there. We'll have like mostly 8 to 10 sessions on that, the process of surrender. We'll go deeper into that. Okay, so yeah, so that's the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita in a nutshell. So we are in the 6th chapter. This chapter is titled Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. In the previous chapters, first 5 chapters, Krishna talked about Karma Yoga. By practicing Karma Yoga, one attains purification of mind. All the negativity will go away. With that purification of mind, he has two paths. Two paths. He can go towards Ashtanga Yoga or go towards Bhakti Yoga. If you go towards Ashtanga Yoga, that's a difficult process. Arjuna also says that in this chapter. If a person really wants to have an adventure in his life, he can go that. He can take that process, no problem. In that process, what is the process? In that Krishna teaches that process of Ashtanga Yoga. He doesn't recommend that, but he still teaches it because people may be interested, and it is also in the Vedas, scriptures. So in the process of Ashtanga Yoga, one has to have good control of mind and senses. It is a must. Good control of mind and senses. So because mind is a friend and mind is also an enemy. A controlled mind is a friend, and an uncontrolled mind, which is attached to material things, material possessions, always thinking about material life. It is an enemy in the path of yoga. So to conquer that, to conquer this so-called mind, one has to practice yoga. This process is Ashtanga Yoga, where one has to sit on a floor. Before that, it has two steps. One step is Yoga Ruda stage and Yoga Ruksha stage. That is a beginner stage and advanced stage. In the beginning stage, he doesn't have to renounce. He can still live a family life, and try to practice this so-called yoga, meditate. When he gets advanced, then he could think about going to a forest and continue that meditation. It could take one lifetime or many lifetimes. But this is a process. Krishna is not recommending, but teaching. Okay. So in this process, one has to sit straight in the early stages. That's why one has to do yoga asana, various bodily postures. Within the body is conducive to sit and meditate. And while doing this practice, one should have a regulated life, not eat too much, not eat too little. If eat too much, we'll sleep. If eat too little, we'll think about the food all the time. So yoga is not possible. Not sleep too much or not to sleep too little. One has to have a regulated life. Anything he does, have a regulated life. And try to fix the mind on Atma, on the soul, and meditate for hours and hours and years and years and lifetimes and lifetimes. So by this continuous practice, one can attain perfection. And Krishna talks about the perfection stage, how it look like. He can visualize his Atma. He can he can perceive his Atma. He's not the body, he's the soul. And not just that, he can visualize the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord within himself. If he can visualize his Atma within himself and Paramatma, the God within himself, that means he needs a temple. So not that he needs a temple, but he's out of this world. He'll be liberated. He'll go to the spiritual world. Okay. So that's a practice. But it's a strenuous practice. It takes lifetimes to achieve perfection. In this age of Kali Yuga, nobody is practicing this. But people in the previous ages, they used to practice. It is given in the scriptures. After hearing all this, Arjuna says, Krishna, that the yoga you're teaching is so hard for me. It's practically impossible for me. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. In this practice you are teaching, one has to have good control of mind. I do not have good control of mind. My mind always wanders. We are also in the same position like Arjuna. My mind always wanders. Arjuna is saying, I can control the wind. I cannot control the mind. It is, it is hard for me. So that's what we covered so far, and we'll see what Krishna says. So I'll ask someone to read this.
Yes, Prabhu. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Manodur दुर्निग्रहं चलम् अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैरग् वैरज्ञेन च गृह्यते. Lord Shri Krishna said, "O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment."
Thank you, Baba. So after hearing from Arjuna about the impracticality of yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and also Arjuna's response about controlling the mind, Arjuna said it is hard for him to control the mind. Then Krishna says, mind control is a must. Is a must. You can do that by two things. One is practice, and second is detachment. With practice and detachment, it is possible. Krishna here is referring to Ashtanga yoga, but this applies to any yoga practice, whether it is bhakti yoga or any yogic practice. One has to have two things. One is one has to practice. If a person wants to attain perfection in anything, one has to practice and also develop detachment. If a person wants to be a good tennis player or a good businessman, anything, to attain perfection in material thing or to attain perfection in spiritual thing or in different yogic practices, these two are must. One is practice and detachment. So Krishna here is referring to the mind control of the mind. The practice and detachment are must. So we'll go through this sloka in detail. So why practice? Why practice? Practice is essential for anything. We practiced eating food. In the beginning, when in our infancy, we practiced eating food. We were not like, directly taking and eating when we were born. We practiced eating food. We practiced walking. We practiced whatever it is, studies. And every day we are practicing. It's a must. It's a must. In the path of yoga or mind control, practice is a must. So here Krishna is referring to the practice of mind control, like wherever the mind goes, bring it back. Bring it back and practice yoga, meditation process or bhakti process, devotion process. So this mind is like a monkey. This mind is like a monkey which needs practice. Imagine if you were to pet a monkey, bring the monkey in our home and nicely pet the monkey, give food. Monkey creates a big havoc in the home. Nobody, very rare you'll see a people petting monkey. It's hard. It's hard to train. Other pets we can train, but monkey, it's hard. In the scriptures and many philosophers says that mind is also a monkey. It's hard to train, always wanders. Arjuna also said it's pramati. It brings problems. Uncontrolled mind brings problems, disturbance, disasters in one's life because of uncontrolled monkey. Uncontrolled mind, uncontrolled monkey. Mind is like a monkey. So this mind, when properly trained, it can come to control. We can control this mind when it is properly trained. Similarly, when we are petting a monkey or any pet, it needs some practice. When we practice, put it in a schedule and regularly help to practice or help to, I'm talking about a pet. if I'm a puppy, right? If I have a puppy in my home, I need to train it regularly. It may go here and there. Once I sufficiently train that, it listens to me. If I say stand, it will stand. If I say sit, it will sit. Any pet. Monkey is little hard. So our mind is also little hard. It needs some practice. Then it will listen to us. Otherwise, we'll be driven away by this monkey mind. So usually we hear the verse practice. Practice makes man perfect. That is true. Practice makes man perfect. But Krishna is saying, not just practice, you also need to have detachment. Practice and detachment makes man perfect. That is a um, lesson from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is teaching us. Practice, not just practice, you also need to develop detachment. Okay, we'll try to understand that practice and detachment with an example. Okay, so if I'm going to a gym every day to build some nice muscles, okay, what is the practice? I need to go to the gym, and have a trainer, whatever he teaches, even if you don't like, we have to listen and practice whatever he says. And he also says one more thing, diet. While doing this gym, make sure you follow a set of things. You don't eat junk food. If you have a habit of eating 10 pounds of food every day, cut it, eat it 1 pound every day. If you are so much attached to sweets, a trainer says, cut it short, don't eat too much sweets. That is detachment. It has to go together. One has to have practice and detachment. Only then we can attain perfection. In the spirituality also, one has to have practice and detachment to attain perfection. So we'll analyze that little bit in detail. This practice and detachment, it's like prescription and proscription. Prescription is like to do the things as prescribed. Proscription is like avoiding, abandoning the things, not doing. So it's kind of detachment. So one person, we'll try to understand this with this story. So one person, he went to a doctor. He went to a doctor and said, Doctor, I am having a problem. I'm seeing various symptoms. I searched in Google, and those symptoms, Google says it's a diabetes. And Google also says many things in the left. If you scroll it to the right, it will give a list of diseases. I'm a little worried. I'm really worried. I don't know what is my disease now, but I'm having some symptoms, some problems in my with my body. Then doctor says you don't have to go to Google. You have to go to me. You have to come to me. Google is not your doctor. I am your doctor. I'll teach you. I'll tell you what is the problem. So doctor orders blood report. You go and get this blood report done. I'll tell you what is the problem. And doctor also does some looking at the person, diagnosis, and he knows, doctor knows, but doctor still gives a blood test. So this person, he had the blood test and came and he says, shows to the doctor, and doctor says, yes, you're right. But if you find in Google, you'll see many things, but I'm the one who's gonna say this. Okay, this is what you have. You have a diabetes. You have a problem now. Okay, I'm just taking this example. You have a problem now, diabetes. But don't worry, I have a solution for you. The solution is you follow this thing. That is, you take this medicine. This is my prescription. You take this medicine. Your blood sugar levels will be under control. And while taking it, you have to follow one more thing. That is detachment, vairagya. That is, stay away from sweets. Stay away from sweets. Stop eating sweets. If you stop eating sweets, yes, then you can have a good control of your blood sugar levels. So this person went to home and he took the medicine and doing all those things. After 1 month, he came back. And again, doctor said, he went to doctor and said, doctor, I still have the problem, my symptoms are still there. Are you following the process, whatever I prescribed? Yes. Oh, go and get the blood report done. Now he got a new blood report, and the same thing, no change. No change. Then doctor asked, did you really follow what I said? I gave you the prescription, you have to follow. Are you taking this medicine 3 times a day? Yes. Did you stop eating food? Did you stop eating sweets? Yes, I stopped. What do you mean I stop? If you stop, then you should have a good control here. Your disease is still not controlled. Then he says, I stopped eating one sweet only. I stopped only one sweet. What do you mean? How many sweets you eat? I eat 20 sweets a day. Man, if you eat 10, 20 sweets a day, you will die in few days. Okay, you have to stop. You have to develop detachment. If you're so much attached to eating sweets, you develop detachment. Totally stop eating sweets. You slowly you stop, and you have to totally stop. You have to learn detachment. Detachment. Only then you can attain success. So that's what Krishna is saying. Abhyasa means practice. Vairagya means detachment. Both are must have. So in the path of yoga, we will see what is a prescription, what is a prescription, right? What is a do's and don't do's. If I tell what is a do and what is a don't do, you may say, okay, this is not for me. I cannot join these sessions. This is hard for me. People usually say this. Okay, this is hard for me. You are making my life hectic. Now, after hearing the Bhagavad Gita, so much confusion of my life. I was happy before listening to Bhagavad Gita. It needs a practice. I know it is hard. It needs a practice. Practice and detachment makes man perfect. So I have this from various, it's essence, okay, essence in a simple and easy format for everybody to understand. So for the first thing is one has to have good association. A for association. We'll see ABCDs. We are all beginners of spirituality or yoga. So we have to start from ABCDs, alphabet. So A for association. In the path of yoga, in the path of spirituality, association, a good association, a sattvic, saintly people association is must. So when we associate with people, what happens? Data transfer happens. Data transfer happens. Most of the time when you associated with worldly minded people, or I mean, there's nothing wrong in doing that, but we need to be aware of what is happening in our life also, right? So they dump all their negativity in us, we dump all our negativity into other them. Data transfer, it's a two-directional data transfer happens. But when we associate with the saintly people, good people, and then we learn good things. B for books. That is studying scriptures, Vedic literatures, listening to lectures, all those things, all the things which will help us to attain liberation. Simple. All the books, scriptures. And C for chanting. Chanting the holy name of the Lord is a yuga dharma. So every yuga, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. We are in this Kali Yuga. I'll talk about these yugas in the 7th chapter or 8th chapter. But these are the different yugas. Every yuga has some millions of years. We are in the Kali Yuga. So in this yuga, there is a practice prescribed for control of mind, control of senses, and easily attain the Supreme Lord. That is Harinama, Harinama Sankirtana. Hare Nama Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyada. In this age of Kali, there is no other way, no other way, no other way to attain perfection. The only way is chanting the holy name of the Lord. When we chant the holy name of the Lord, bring the God in our life, Hridaya Gandhi, all the dirt which has been accumulated in our heart and mind from many, many lifetimes will be cleansed. We can attain purity. It's a quick process, fast process. That is prescribed in scriptures. In Kali Santhara Upanishad also, it is given by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also prescribed in the Kali Santhara Upanishad. That by chanting the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is a prescription given in the scriptures. And the diet is also very important. One has to eat sattvic food. Okay, I'll talk about what to abandon in the next set of bullet points. So one has to eat good food. We are what we eat. If we eat the sattvic food, what is sattvic food? The food which is served in temple. Simple. The food which is served in temple is a sattvic food. I'll talk about it later in detail when we go through in future chapters. And also engagement. A, B, C is done, D is done. Engagement. Engagement is service. Seva. By doing seva, like a volunteering service to temple or doing helping others, and the most important service we say is that is help others educate, bring awareness about our spiritual nature, and help them into the spirituality. That is the biggest service. So that's all prescribed. I'm talking about all the things prescribed in our scriptures to attain, to practice and attain perfection in so-called yoga. In any yoga, one has to have F for faith. One has to have good faith in the Lord, and one has to have good faith in the scriptures. If you don't have faith in the Lord, no faith in scriptures, no progress, no perfection. Krishna says in 17th chapter, if a person disregards the scriptural injunctions, he disregards Bhagavad Gita, he will never attain perfection, he will never be happy. He has to go through, Krishna says, I repeatedly put them into these hellish planets. He has to suffer because he's going against the scriptures, against dharma. So one has to have good faith in scriptures and the Lord. So this is all we talked about prescription. What to we'll see prescription, the detachment part, the vairagya. One has to develop detachment. Same ABCD we'll see. So association which makes a person adharmic, one should avoid. Sometimes we are a group of friends. One friend will pull us into gambling or alcohol or all those nonsense things many people do. Those are adharmic things against the human nature. So one has to abandon or stay away. Even it's a practice. If people have a habit of doing all those things, one has to learn detachment. Slowly learn detachment. It takes time. Books or literatures or many things in this world to listen and hear, which are all, if they are against dharma, against God, that create problems in our mind and consciousness. It's like garbage in, garbage out. If you put garbage in our mind, garbage in our consciousness, we will be a total garbage. I'm sorry to say this, but yeah, that's what the truth. But if we bring in good things, we keep our mind pure, our consciousness pure by the path of bhakti or devotion, good in, good out. The garbage in, garbage out makes us good in, good out. If you bring good in by eating sattvic food and all the spiritual activities, will be good. We can quickly progress in the path. So these are the, one has to stay away from the things or literatures or listening or mundane talks which are against dharma. Okay, C for challenging. If we start challenging, who knows, who cares what God taught us? What is Bhagavad Gita? I don't care. Right? I already said, if a person who disregards the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna will do. And the diet. One has to have a good, one has to stay away from the diets which creates sin, right? Like meat eating and intoxication, alcohol or meat eating or many things. We'll talk later, but a high level. These are the diets which creates sin. So one has to abandon. It's a detachment. If a person is attached to doing the things, if a person is attached to intoxication, it's a practice and detachment, slowly detaching from these things. It takes time. If he can do that, he has to go hand in hand, practice and detachment, he can attain perfection. E for engaging in self-destructive activities or gambling or many things. We all know how much people engage in self-destructive activities. So one has to abandon. So these are the things: practice and prescription, prescription and prescription, abhyasa, vairagya, in the path of any yoga, spiritual practice, especially in bhakti yoga, a Vaishnava, a devotee, if you want to progress in the path of devotion, this is must. This is must. The practice, and one has to slowly learn detachment. Okay. So life lesson here. The mind can defeat us in a battle. The mind can defeat us in a battle, but we alone can defeat ourselves in the war. It's a battle every day. Mind defeats us. It's a war every day. So who can save us? We, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. It's a free will. It's called free will. By using our free will, making right decisions, taking up the right practices, we can have good control over the mind. So the essence of this, the verse we read today is, by good practice and developing detachment, we can have good control of mind and senses. We can progress in the path of spirituality, yoga or bhakti yoga, and we can attain liberation. Okay. I'll ask someone to read this, verse number 36.
असंयतात्मना योगो दुष्प्राप इति मे मतिः वस् वस्यात्मना तु यतथा शक्यो वाप्तुम् उपायतः. For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion.
Yeah, thank you, Pawan. So Arjuna, what Arjuna said, the path of Ashtanga Yoga is difficult and my mind I cannot control. And Krishna said, you can control, you practice and develop detachment, then you can have good control. And Krishna here again emphasizing the fact that if a person's mind is uncontrolled, is totally not at all practicing mind control by any process. The two processes are important is either you do meditation on yourself, Atma, or you meditate on the Lord. Those practices will help us in good control of mind. If a person is not at all doing that, his mind is uncontrolled. For such a person, self-realization is a difficult work. Now we see like people attend Bhagavad Gita classes or listen to many things. They say like, "Oh no, this is not for me." Yeah, yes, it is not for them if they do if they're not ready to practice. A person who is ready to practice and have good control, it's easy. That's what Krishna is saying. How it is easy? By doing this upayataha. That is a means. Find a means. It is easy. Krishna is assuring us. It is not impossible. It is possible. You can have good control of mind, but find a means. Everybody means is different. Everybody's means is different. Some people get good control of the mind when they meditate on themselves. like mindfulness meditation, like, mindfulness meditation, Buddhist meditation, like when the thought comes, let it go, don't attend. So it takes many, many lifetimes also to have good control in this process, but that is also a good process. So that is also a means. Other means is bringing divinity within us, chanting the holy name of the Lord, the practice of bhakti yoga, by seva, devotional service to others. uh, uh, then we'll come to the mode of goodness and we can have good control of mind and senses. So we need to find a means. So some people like to do kirtana, Nama Sankirtana. We do 4 hour kirtan, 5 hour kirtan in temple. Nama Sankirtana programs happen. Like mind is automatically controlled. Just you chant, just to sing. It's like a singing, Kirtan is like a sing. We just sing along and it's totally controlled. We are not thinking about anything. The 4 hours or 2 hours, whatever the hours we spend, one can see that. It's a blissful experience one must have, provided if they do correctly. If they're worried about what is happening in my family life or at my house, what my wife is cooking, no, that won't happen. So one has to find the proper means and practice. Then Krishna is saying, yes, you can attain success. So I'll tell a small story now. I think I should finish it up before 7:30. Okay, so this is a story of a businessman and an astrologer. So this is a story told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in one of the scriptures, but I kind of put it in a nicer way for us to easily understand. So there is a businessman who is doing the business. So if a person is doing the business, we call him as a businessman. Whether he succeed in the business or not, we still call him as a businessman because he does business. So this person is doing the business. He started a business. In the beginning, like first 3 months, he was gaining so much money. Everything was going good. Huh? And then he thought he'll become a millionaire, but bad time came and he lost everything. One business lost. Again, after 2 to 3 months break, he started another business. Again the success and again failure. Whatever he's doing, nothing is working out. Whatever is this person is doing, nothing is working out. He's going to the ups and downs, again and again, again and again, and it has been happening for many, many years, and his bank balance is negative, minus only, minus big number, minus big number. Everybody wants plus a positive number, his bank balance is like a big minus number. And this person, out of so much worry, so he goes to a priest. You can see in the picture here, he goes to an astrologer and he says like, what is my life is, whatever I do is always a failure. What kind of life is this? Can you help me? Can you help me? How can I become at least success? Success. I want to at least increase my bank balance from negative to positive. How can I become rich? Then this astrologer says, you know what? You are a rich person. He's like shocked. What? My balance, I already told you my bank balance, it's in negative, and you are saying me rich? How am I rich? You are a rich person, but you don't know. He was like literally shocked. Why is that? How is that? Then this astrologer says, okay, your father, when his business was running good, he was not like you. But when his business was running good, he accumulated good money. But he didn't give you that. He hid it underneath your home. There's a treasure in your home that you don't know. And you need to find a way, a means to attain that treasure. This guy was literally excited. Yes, I want to get that. I want to increase my bank balance. I want to become a millionaire. Okay. Don't be too excited. There is a process to follow. Okay. He says, in your house, you have to start digging. It's underneath, it is hidden somewhere, right? So you have to go and dig it. But don't dig from the north side. If you dig from the north side, you within few minutes you'll die. If you dig from the west side, there'll be big serpents will come and they'll eat you. And if you dig from the south side also, there'll be a problem. Within 1 month, you'll die. So whatever you do, there are problems in this going in different paths. But dig from the east side. When you do from the east side, and when you dig it, it's very closer, and you can, with less effort, you can attain that. And this person went and digged it, and he found the treasure, and he increased his bank balance, and he's happy thereafter. So there is a nice message in the story. So this businessman is compared to a soul, Atma, who is wandering into this material world, going through this many lifetimes, totally forgot about his identity. This Atma is blissful, Satchitananda. We are a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We have the treasure within us. We are running after the treasure, so-called spiritual happiness. It is within us. We need to find the proper means to bring out the treasure, and the treasure is the attaining the Supreme Lord, the moksha. That is possible by us. So this businessman represents this soul, Atma, who totally forget about his own treasure. The businessman represents the Lord. He is a Supreme Lord. He has given in the term of Bhagavad Gita, in the form of Bhagavad Gita, in the form of scriptures. He has given this. He has given the means. He has given this treasure to attain the Supreme Lord. And the astrologer is the one who can recommend us. Is like an acharya or a spiritual master who can recommend us what works best. Krishna has given this, but the map to the treasure is moksha. The spiritual master is the one who can give us what is the right way to attain that. Here it refers to Srila Prabhupada or many acharyas, Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, many acharyas who have come and have given this process. And the digging process here is that refers to our practice, a sadhana, a practice. It needs a practice. By proper practice, yes, we can attain. By proper means. So we need to find the essence of this story is one has to find the proper means, by proper guidance, by proper practice. Yes, it is possible to attain moksha. So life lesson, the mind is like a bully who has terrorized us for long. It's time to stand up. We have been going through many lifetimes. It's time to stand up. The Gita shows us the best peak to seek and the best route to reach it. So by Bhagavad Gita, we can learn all these things and we can reach it. We covered few shlokas. It's already 7:29. If you want to read or stop it, anyone, please let me know. I think this takes time. Okay, we'll stop here. Yeah, mostly we'll end this chapter 6 in next session. So other shlokas are easy to go through, and we can end this session. We can end this chapter 6 in the next section mostly. So I'll stop here. Thank you all for patiently listening, and thank you all for attending this session. Hare Krishna. Feel free to share your thoughts and realizations.